Hello and welcome to my channel. I have a mixed media Christmas layout for you today. It includes a Paige Taylor Evans wreath cut file, which I've got here for you. And what I like about these is that they have the backing pieces that you just have to fit in behind and glue together. So I'll go and do that off camera. And just like that, there it is. Next thing I decided is I needed a frame. So all my papers are from the Cocoa Vanilla Studios Merry and Bright collection, and this one was called Jingle All the Way. I like that they're kind of the soft colours, but they've still got a bit of pop where you need them. For the wreath, I use the Oh Christmas Tree on the leaves and Joy to the World for the flowers and berries. So I just trimmed my base card, which is Vicky Bouton's Foundations paper, and checked it was about what I wanted. And I used some clear gesso as well, because I'm never quite sure how much mixed media and water I'm going to use until I sort of get going. So this is just to be on the safe side to stop things warping too much. Then I stuck it down, and in my usual way I probably should have distressed it first, but well, too late. Half the time I stick something down and then I have to pull it back up, but not this time. You'll see I do distress it a bit later, but yeah, you'll see that further on. I wasn't quite sure whether to use a colour or black and white photo, but this time the colour one looked pretty good with the paper, so I decided to go with that. Right. This Distress Oxide is called Bundled Sage, and I just coloured the background outside of the wreath file lightly with a stencil brush. Don't think it was giving me quite enough colour like that, so you'll see I go back over it shortly with the blender tool instead. It looks alright when I look back on it now, but I think it needed just a little bit more. There's a quick spray with water to activate it, and then I used my my water brush pen to squeeze out a few drops, a few bigger ones, which I like that effect. And I soaked up the moisture then with the paper towel and let it dry before I went on to the next colour. I'm getting there, much happier with that. Still a few more little drops and things. I can get quite carried away sometimes. That looks good. So once it was all dry, my next colour was Candied Apple Distress Oxide. I watered it down quite a bit because it's a really strong colour and I didn't want it to look like bud spatters, so I just gave it a little bit here and there of a flick outside the wreath. It kind of looks like little berries. And then I sewed the background down too off camera, and I went around lifting the edges to distress them. I like the rough lifted sort of look rather than the root look that you get with distress tools. So I mostly just use my nails. Oh, naughty, my manicurist would say naughty. And lifted it. I used water to soften it first mostly, and then just lifted it and scrunched it up, and that's the look I like. Took me a few goes to decide which way round I was going to put the wreath. This is the Season's Greetings paper, so I cut out the centre. I know it was going to become part of my title. Now it's time to start doing some layering for underneath my photo. So this was the same green as that was in the leaves of the cut file. And this flower was the reverse of the candy stripe. So just some little, I always just have some little bits and patches and things underneath, often not full layers underneath, just little bits sticking out here, there and everywhere. I used chipboard to pop the photo up before I started putting it all together. And that little light striped paper is off the cut apart sheet. They're great because you can use them in so many different ways. So I didn't think I'd ever use the snow globe, so I thought, right, I can just use the edge of that. Then I also could use one of these labels. I like the one with the wood grain, just to make a little bit of a contrast. My kids thought it was quite funny I was using this photo. They said, at least use I'm glad you're not using the one with our crazy hair, because they always have crazy hair first thing on Christmas morning. And I just laughed and said, well, that was actually the first photo from that day that I scrapped. I just hadn't got around to doing this one. So a few more little layers been added in here and there. And I outlined all around the edge because it's quite a nice way to tie all the bits and pieces in together to make them look like they belong together. And of course I had to distress that as well. Bit more chipboard to pop it up a little bit further. Had to do that because the cut file had already been chipped out one layer, so I had to do it 2 layers to make the photo stand up further. Okay, so I just was working out the placement of my title now. So the centre, the word centre was going to be the middle part of it. It was going to read, what did Santa bring? And so I just used these fussy cut letters for that title. Popped up 3 of them and just laid the other 2 flat. These little letter stickers, I think, are some Paige Taylor Evans ones as well. They're definitely American crafts. Just a great size for when you're wanting another part of the title apart from the hero word. And gold's always good as a neutral colour in a Christmas layout. Oh, the little dot off those question marks are really hard to get on the way that you want sometimes. But we got there eventually. Okay, time to start adding a few more other little embellishments. So these came from an earlier hip kit. We just put the little bits of gold on there. They were a wee bit shiny, so I took a lesson from Missy Whitten and I used a little bit of white gesso to go over them. I think you'll see that shortly. Go over them and make them not quite so brassy looking. These other little cutout bits are ones that were left over from where there was the scraps around where I'd used the cut files, so none of these pieces, apart from the littlest leaves, are whole flowers, but it was good to use them anyway. As scrappers, it's always a case of waste not, want not, right? Starting to look a bit more like I like it. These are also just little fussy cut flowers. I don't think I'd even touched the ephemera pack by that stage. These little bows also came from a hip kit club from, I think, last year's Christmas kit. And you just have to assemble them, the little die cut pieces that you just self-assemble. And I thought that would make a really nice addition to the bottom of the photo. Oh, these are such cute little flare as well. Took me a couple of times to sort of work out exactly where I wanted it, but yes, just tucked in there was where it landed in the end. Finally got the ephemera out and started looking to see what extra pieces I might want to put on. And actually it really wasn't that much this time. I think it was just the ticket and a little tab up the top, which you'll see shortly. I did try that, but I didn't really think it fitted in the end. I love this centre, but he was just a bit big for that one. He'll get used. And these little stars, these wee puffy fabric stars, are so cool. I could have used all 6 to be honest, but in the end I only used 1. I liked them here, but yeah, no, up there, definitely. Okay, so then a bit of matching thread to go under the flare because, you know, just gives it a little bit of extra texture as well. And a bit to balance out the other side as well, so just tuck that in this other corner. few wee berries. I found these little sequins that I used to have, well, I still have, from my very early cocoa vanilla collection. I can't remember which one it was even, and I thought that they were perfect to go inside the berries in the cut files, so that's what I did with those, every single one. They're so fiddly, but they just give that last little sparkle that you need. But that's very close to the end. I'm not going to do my journaling on camera, you won't see that, but you'll see some of that in the close-ups perhaps. And the journaling just read, "Oh, the excitement on Christmas morning. First collect all the gold coins that Santa drops through the hole in his pocket. Then come on, Mum and Dad, check out our Santa sacks." And this was 2009, so oh my god, I look at those kids, are so little. Few gold splatters just to finish it off. And that's it, folks. So here's some close-ups for you to see. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up or follow my channel if you're not already, if you do. And if you have any comments to make, feel free. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.